Hello, my Miniatureholic family, and welcome back. I have a special treat for you this week. I have been trying to get a hold of this young lady for a long time. You've seen her on a few other videos. Serrana, she's my Miniatureholic buddy. So I figured we'd come up with a good idea and show you some unfinished projects, which a lot of us have. Every time I go to a convention or a show, I'm always hearing people talking about, I got projects I haven't finished yet. So I had a few people who had unfinished projects, and I could have went to their house, but I chose Serrana because she's got some real good. Wait till you see some of her stuff. She's gonna take us to a few of them and like let us know what she's gonna do with them. But you can relate to this, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're back. So, Ronnie, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you specialize in, and talk about your experience with, not finishing projects. Because, like I said, there's a lot of people out there. I got stuff in my house I ain't finished. You can see the outside, but you open the inside, it's empty. So, talk to us. Come on.
So, I have been in miniatures for, oh my gosh, since about 2006. So one of the houses I'm going to show you, I started it because my very first house I don't have anymore. And so I had lots of ideas for that. So I'm going to show you one that I'm working on to kind of bring that back around. I do a little bit of everything. My specialty I work in is metal and glass. So I will be doing, metal miniature furniture, things like that. But anything that makes me have to challenge myself is what I'm going to do. So it doesn't really matter. So from upholstery to wooden furniture building, just everything is I'll jump in both feet.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to have her take us around to show us her room, and then we're going to zero in on a few of her projects, and she's going to tell us what her plans are for them.
Okay, this house is a Real Good Toys Eastside Townhouse. And I kid you not, this thing has already been painted twice. But there's a reason for that. And I kid you not, there's a reason why we all have unfinished projects. For me, I love the process of building. So sometimes it's just that. I just love the process of building. Mm-hmm. Other times it's what we don't realize is that there's a skill that we need to learn to be able to finish that house the way we want to. Another way is because we have not really realized the idea and the design that we want for this house. Exactly. So this particular one, as you can see, I've got all of the clapboard siding on it and everything else, but guess what? It's not going to stay that way. This is now going to be a French house. That's what's been speaking to me about this house. And so that's what it's going to turn into. So it will have the balconies and all the wood floorings, all the little fancy railings and stucco siding on it. So this inside of this one has 3 different floors in here. And I had actually already even started. But like I said, this floor will remain. And I did use the popsicle sticks. And of course, I have some of the different tools that I'm going to use to clean it all up, sand it down really nicely, and get some varnish and everything on it. So that the bottom floor will be a kitchen and a living room area. There will be a bedroom. There's another wall here it's going to be a bathroom. And then all the way up at the top, just because this was kind of like a really interesting space, I'm actually going to do a smaller scale train layout up here on this top floor. Okay. So kind of like the little kids' playroom.
Okay. This is so cool. She got so much stuff, y'all. And all her ideas, she just pop them out and she'll write them down. Me, I'm like, go. And I'm like, So I'm talking about how many dollhouses and room boxes do you have, honey?
Well, I did have 7 actual 1/12 scale dollhouses, but I bought one more because I just couldn't resist it. But I have a variety that are in different containers, different kits. I love to kit bash. And that's another problem, is because I love to kit bash. Because I love to kit bash, it means that it may take me a while, of course, to build some things.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm also an architectural person, so I actually like for each of my dollhouses to be a different style.
Okay.
Okay.
Look at this. Girl, look at this stuff she got. Girl, look at this. Okay, we're going to get into a few of these because I know y'all looking at this talking about, what about that one? What's she going to do with that one? Okay, so wait a minute. I'm just trying to get a gist of the whole room so you'll see how many dollhouses and room boxes she has. And I thought it would be a great idea because she can come up with some good ideas and suggestions for you and when it comes to completing yours. So here's another one. Huge one in the middle of the floor. And she's going to tell us about this one too. So
this one right here in the middle of the floor, this is a Pat and Noel Thomas dollhouse. And it actually came as just a full shell. That's it. And you did everything else with it. They were used to teach through the IGMA at the Guild School. And I miss them. I didn't start going to I knew about them, but didn't start going to the school until after they had retired. I got this opportunity to buy this house a few years ago, I kid you not, for $50.
what?
And a gentleman was selling it. His mother had given it to his wife when they were married 20 some odd years ago, and she never did anything with it.
Another one of us not getting finished yet. Okay.
So I jumped at the chance, of course, to get this because I have wanted one. And I've actually collected all of their articles that were in the miniature magazines on their different techniques. So the plan with this house is to use their techniques to actually build this one. I actually have decided what it's even going to be based on. I was watching the show Virgin River. And they had this Victorian, that was the doctor's office. And I loved how the wood work was in that house, and how in the entryway, the wood went from floor to ceiling through the first and second floors. So that's kind of what I plan to do to this house. And if you see my sticker, some of my houses and things have little stickers on them on what I plan to do with them. So this is my tower, Pat and Noel Thomas Tower House.
That is a good idea.
Based off the Virgin River house. And I kid you not, when I came after watching that, the actual house that this is based on is 123 Main Street. It's in Canada.
Oh, wow.
And it was actually for sale when I came up with the idea. So I was able to get a bunch of pictures from the realtor site.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have something to work with that.
And what about the one behind you, the witness?
The Whit Burgess room box. This room box is from a class that was taught by Whit Burgess. And it actually...
Where'd you get it from?
Of course, I got it at the Miniature Attic Sale.
Ah, Miniature Museum, hello. Okay.
Museum of Miniatures in Carmel, Indiana. I'm telling you what, their attic sale that they do every year in like April is just over the top.
And how much was that box?
I believe
about 50 or 100.
I believe I paid about $45, $50 or something.
See, go to that attic sale. What are y'all doing?
No, I'm serious. You just have to go, because I'm a builder, I always look at something like, if there's something wrong, I can change it. Or I can change it to make it fit what I want. Because I work with glass and metal and things like that, I do real stained glass, real miniature stained glass. So when I saw this, it spoke to me in that this was actually a half bathroom on the right side of the box. And so I decided to change that to a hallway. So I took the half bathroom out, and look, let me see if I can get the wall back in there. So I actually took the half bathroom out and made a wall to go back here in the back. And of course, while I'm trying to do it on camera, it's not going to work.
It never does.
But this wall does fit, but
okay.
I'm actually turning it into a hallway. So I am actually going to make a miniature stained glass door to actually go in this hallway. So there will be a light that hangs to the back that will shine through that stained glass door, and you'll be able to see that.
Okay.
This is also, so what I did to this side is this is what is called my wine and peonies room.
Okay.
So this side is actually the bar area. So I took the sink and things from the bathroom and put it on this side because it's going to be a bar area. So there's going to be built-in shelving. I've collected lots of like Krisenbond glass and some actual glassware and wine bottles that will go in this side.
Okay.
I already have picked out a fireplace. I've already made the drapes and everything else that will go into this room. So it's just a lot of pieces.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, what about that cute little thing right behind you?
This is actually a Bill Langford piece. Okay. Now, when you think about that, I never thought I would have one, of course. But I was at the Name garage sale.
Hello.
And I'm
another
telling
sale.
Garage sale.
Sales.
Well, because you can also, some projects have done because they might have been somebody else's project and they didn't get it done or didn't have the time or their idea just didn't materialize. So for me, I'm like, this is awesome. This is actually a half scale build. And so I don't do quite like quarter scale and things. So if I venture smaller, it will be a couple of half scale pieces, and then I also do 1/144 scale. So this is actually going to be a little department store and a bookstore on the bottom. It's going to take me a minute, of course, because I haven't done half scale that much. So when I was talking about skills,
right,
you have to, get a little practice in and everything else.
And I know you were talking about how there are reasons why people have unfinished projects. Work could be one of them. Your daily life, family, things that you just be like,
I have a full-time job.
Oh, I'm too tired to do
this.
this.
I have a full-time job. I have I have two different businesses that I run full-time job. I teach seniors art at least one day a week, usually for anywhere from a 6 to 12 week period. I work with seniors 65 and up. So, it's just when I decide and get the time, I sit on down and, decide on which project I want to work on.
Right.
And then I'll just dive in.
Okay. So what about this pretty blue and white one over here?
This blue and white one is also Real Good Toys Victorian. And the thing about this one was I bought this at the attic sale. Sale. I'm telling you, attic sale, garage sale, so I think I paid maybe $75 for it.
Ooh.
And so it's been repainted and everything to this beautiful blue, but this house still sits here because, of course, when I got to doing it, this was the first dollhouse I had.
Oh, okay.
So this was the exact, it was the punch out windows. You had to cut every single piece and line it up. And it did not come here to Indiana with me when I was in South Carolina. So I figured I was going to do this because it brought back nostalgia. But guess what? It still sits here because it'll probably go to my great niece now.
Okay.
But it didn't really materialize because the ideas and the plans that I had were bigger than this house.
Okay.
So if we go right over here.
We're going to.
This is the new version.
Oh my goodness. She upgraded.
So this is the Real Good Toys. Also the same dollhouse, but they made it bigger. So,
shut up.
So this house has been a little bit bigger. So I made the base on it and everything. And I was told, as a suggestion by Pat and Noel Thomas, because I did speak with them. And one of the things to do to make your work even look more special is put it on a base.
So what'd you make the base out of?
The base is literally sheets of plywood that I had cut at Lowe's. Lowe's will cut it for you. They love me. They know me there. This was just an L bracket, same thing, Lowe's. My favorite store is Lowe's. And then this was a piece of, just a separate piece of trim also that I bought. So, and just stapled it on. and put a little bit of stain on there, and then put a little poly on there, and you're good to go.
All right. So no, we got the yellow one that's upgraded, and then we have the blue one. She got okay. That's what we're talking about.
But a couple more things about this real quick though is this opening is bigger. You will not see this on the kit because I changed that, as well as this here, and actually have even added a dormer on this side. And the reason for that was because that's a small room on that side, and I wanted to make sure that it was kind of really usable.
Okay, so she alters her dollhouses too.
Yes.
All right then. Okay, but you also have a Thornhill, don't you?
She wants you to see my
You've
Thornhill.
got to see that Thornhill. Come on, y'all, let's go see the Thornhill. So now we up here with her Thornhill. Okay, everybody that has a Thornhill, because I did have people come up to me at the convention with some, I started watching your channel because of your Thornhill or because of your Foxhall Manor. So here's another Thornhill. Now tell us about your Thornhill and the ideas you have for your Thornhill.
My Thornhill. Okay, so I've had this Thornhill for a while. And part of the reason it was undone is because I wanted to kit bash it. And I didn't know how I wanted to kit bash it. Because how can you make it bigger when it's closed in on all sides?
So what is kit bashing? A lot of people don't know.
Kit bashing means your vision doesn't work with what you take out the box.
Okay, cool. You're altering it.
Yes. So when you have these grand plans and everything, that's okay.
It is.
Then you can change it and do whatever that you want to it, because it's yours. Sometimes I think we get stuck by that once it comes out the box, you know, how it looks on the package is how we're supposed to make it look. And that's not true. You bought it. You spent the money. It's yours.
Exactly.
So you can do whatever it is that you want to it.
And when you want to.
When, how, and whatever. Okay? So my Thornhill does not look like everybody else's Thornhill. Because when I saw the Thornhill, I thought about a Tudor house, a Tudor style house. Like I said, I'm an architecture type person, so this totally, of course, speaks to me. So what I did to my Tudor is, if you look, every single window has been recut. And it's been recut to hold a French door. Because they would have had longer windows and things in there. So I'm going to have the French doors in there, and then I will do glass that will look like it is leaded. So probably actually using lead tape. Haven't decided that just yet. The other thing about this one is, you see this area here, this is how I expanded the Thornhill a little bit more. So I just took a board that was, I believe it was 2.5 inches, and literally I added it to the perimeter all the way around the house. So it was the exact same footprint, but it just raised the roof up a little bit more so that you have more usable space in the actual roof attic area.
Creativity.
Okay. Also, of course, the doorway, there's going to be a big double door that goes into it and all of that. So those were some of the things. The other part that I changed was in the roof itself was I added windows and dormers. So I've added a couple of dormers because we're making the room a little bit more usable. And then you couldn't see up there.
Right.
Unless you had the roof open. And I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to see inside. So I added dormers to each of the sides, and then a couple of windows that'll be here in the front. So you actually can see what's going on without actually having
That's a cool idea.
Okay. The next thing I did, some of the tools and different things I used, like for the stonework, I actually used an embossing template. So it was like a plastic template that looks like, the stone. So I actually took plaster of Paris, poured it in there, and then took that out. So if it was even, which it wasn't totally even, I started this one in 2009. So I was using things and I still wasn't, my skills still weren't there. But I did that and should have sanded it flat a little bit more, but I didn't. But it's okay. It adds to the character. Because once you put it on, over to this side, you can see on this side, where once it's on and it's actually painted in, it just looks like one whole piece.
Oh, yeah, that looks nice.
So after it was done, I put gesso over the top of that. So that unifies the whole thing. And then you can actually start painting it to make this, do the stonework.
Cool.
I added timbers to each of the areas and have started working with paper clay. If you're going to use paper clay, make sure you put a layer of glue down, then push the clay into it, so that way when it dries together and it holds. So all of this will be painted.
So all of this right here is...
All of this here
clay?
is paper clay.
Cool.
Because you can actually take it, mush it, and to me, it gives it a much better stucco texture. And then if you use a stiff paintbrush, you can actually stipple it in there and give it a little bit more of that stucco look to it. Using that paper clay.
Honey.
And so the inside has been like all primed and painted. This one is going to be a little girl's room. This is going to be a little boy's room. Noah's Ark. So I've been collecting all of the Noah's Ark things that I can find, and I'm going to stitch a little Noah's Ark rug.
Okay.
The girl's room is going to be a little like cottage, a little cottagey type of look. So I already have a little rug that I've stitched for that, and we're going to do little yellow and white plaid and all that kind of stuff. This will be the kitchen and the dining room.
Okay.
Okay. I did start some flooring for the living room area. So the living room area is the whole bottom side, and this is done on just a piece of mat board, something flat, so then that way you can use it and do it. And so I've put guidelines and different things on there.
So you made this, right?
Yes. So some of this you can find as sheets, as strips. You can actually use veneer. So if you go to, I love Lowe's. You can find veneer strips, and it's actually, this is a glue. So you can actually just iron it down.
Okay.
So you can actually just iron it down onto the mat board and make floors.
Now I have to remind people, she did do a video with me about flooring, so check that out on the channel. Okay.
So yeah, so we got so you can do whatever, and they've got different colors. So you can do, walnut, maple, cherry,
right,
all of that stuff that's available.
That is so beautiful.
And then you can also possibly still find some of these, like this one is a veneering strip. You can find them, and they're like 2 foot to 3 foot lengths. And you can just cut those and use those and make your floor, put them on a piece of mat board. So that way it's easier for you to work on when you're sanding it and when you're going to get ready to finish it.
And so those 2 rooms are going to be?
This is the actual this is going to be the bathroom, and then this is the master bedroom, which is going to have the seating area that's to the front of the house.
Okay, so does the top open?
The top does open. It does not have the hinges on it yet.
Oh, so you have to lift it. Oh, okay.
So we just lift that right off.
Okay, so what are these 3 rooms going to be?
These 3 rooms, we're going to have this one over here is going to be an office. And then this one, everybody's got to have a billiards room, right? So this is going to be a little billiards room and a little library. I love libraries. I love books. So we're going to have, and that's another reason for raising the roof. And here you can see actually where I did that.
Right.
Now, what made it really easy is because, of course, our doorway is going to be taller. So I just took the piece that's cut off of the board and just filled it back in at the top.
Oh, that was so cute. That's smart.
So then your door will just go right in there.
Okay.
And then this one is more than likely going to be like the little sewing or quilting room.
Okay, so when we get done with this, she's going to invite us back so we can see everything.
Here is, since I'm supposed to be showing you what happens and what we do, this piece, even though it may not look like it, I kid you not, actually won a blue ribbon. And
get this, y'all. I entered that contest, right? She beat me and I finished mine, but hers was so nice. I was like, okay, yeah, she did deserve that. Well, but she took stuff out of it though, but this was really nice.
It was finished. But what happened is like I said, your skills get upgraded. And because my skills have gotten upgraded, I wanted to make some changes to it. Okay. So actually what's going to happen is I love my little person that was in the fountain though. She's going to return. But I'm actually going to make koi fish and everything to go inside the pond. My trees are going to get upgraded because I did this. If you saw, the date on the ribbon was 2013. So I hadn't been doing this too long.
Girl, I remember that contest because when we went to that contest and you won, and you was like, I can't believe I won. I didn't even finish it. I'm like, what?
It was like, it needed just a little bit more, but it did have
It was
leaves.
nice.
It was fall color, so it's based on the fall. I love the fall season. So the tree did have leaves. Okay, it had fall leaves, and the orange, the yellow, and all of that. But there's just a little bit more I want to add to it.
So another reason not to have finished a project is because it was done and you taking it apart to redo something else. I mean, I've done that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now let's look at one that is finished.
Okay, this one is finished. This is my little tree stump house. And the thing about this tree stump house is I actually taught this one to our miniature club. And I think one of the things that surprises everybody is what we made it with. And what we did was, it was basically, I used cardboard cake rounds for the top. And we literally took string or cording and glued it down and then covered it with tissue paper.
Shut up.
And so now we have the tree rings instead of just looking like some rope. I took some of the little, kind of like the little popsicle sticks and the wood little sticks you get from like Joann's, and we put some pink felt in the middle so that it looked like insulation, like it was in the roof.
Okay.
It already has a hole in it, so that allowed us to be able to run the lighting and the electrical through. This branch here that all these flowers are on is actually, if you were to go into the bridal section of like Joann's, this was one of those LED lights. And these are old silk flowers. So you could just actually take the middle part out of the silk flowers and pop the light right in the middle of it.
Oh, that is so cute.
Add just a little bit of hot glue, and then that way when you turn the lights on, you've got lights inside of each of your flowers. The flooring, of course, was all of the little skinny sticks that you get in that box with a gazillion of them in there. And then other just plants and things that we found along the way.
See, she's so creative. So creative. So, like, this is pretty much, we're winding it up here, but we just want to show you that in the ministry community, there's a lot of us, we still have unfinished projects, and there's reasons why we do have unfinished projects. So we just want to give you something to relate to.
It's okay. It took me a while, because I had a lot of people who would always ask me, it's like, why isn't anything done yet? Why isn't anything done? And there would be other smaller projects that would be done, but guess what? They got given away. So, I gave them as gifts and different things like that. So it always looks like I don't really have anything done.
See, and it took me years to get her to just do this. Come on, let's do this. Let's shoot this video. No. Now you see there are people that can relate to you. And we thank you so much. We love you, Ronnie. We love you.
Well, I have to love you too if I let you get me on camera.
I know, right?
Stuff like this.
Right. That's my girl, y'all. That's my girl. All right, y'all. So we're going to see y'all next week. Thank you, Ronnie.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.